you need us to conduct training to the group at the same time. We also can loan the tablet to each participant. So to each individual participant, we encourage this approach for the operator level because most of most of time need a control environment. For example, how to connect the tablet with the browser and so on. By using our tablet, participant just click on one icon and participant can directly enter to the online course. Very simple. Tablet also come with full gadgets, right? Employer do not have to prepare all the earphone, router, Wi-Fi, power bank for each participant. Hence, our package do not add additional time and additional or cost burden. Right, during the training, we have modular objective Q&A and a final assessment. It is to prevent from copying since online learning. We have a Q&A shuffling system, right, to prevent the copying from each other. For example, Mr. Riaz and we taking the same online training assessment for defensive driving training because we are colleagues and happen to be seated 1 meter away from each other. I can see the objective answer he clicked, then I copy from him. After submit, we immediately can get our marks. Riaz pass, but I fail. Why? Because all of the question randomly sorted. Even answer are randomly sorted. Out of total solution package, will overcome all hurdles in theory training. For practical training and assessment, our package contain many option format. We provide camera, routers, tablet on loan to participants, facilitate assessment. We provide cameras, router, tablet on loan to participants to facilitate assessment 100 of miles apart. All right. For example, East and West Malaysia. Right, we have conducted assessment for participants onshore in Indonesia, all right, East Malaysia, offshore in Taiwan, and so on. Tablet providing for views, side, front, rear, and plan view. It is better than normal one view. Our forklift training, for example, our forklift training participant can see the rear of forklift and forklift at the same time. We provide the crane lifting software with 3D views. It is a total safety when compared to hand-drawn one-dimension view. We provide the crane lifting software with 3D view. It is a total safety when compared to hand-drawn one-dimension view to enable proper computing of a comprehensive method statement. Next, we have a simulator with a computerized demerit assessment. We can remote host control reset for subsequent participant assessment. Our VR unit with apps and software for practical training and assessment like our OTC inspection. We also have motorbike helmets with communication tools, enable remote training and assessment. And then we also have safety helmet with communication tools for forklift and MEWT. They are routed to trainees tablet, give two-way conversation and view. Other than that, we provide the cameras with accessories for real-time access to record video for HRDF or Perkeso grant claims and as a proof for CIDB or DOSH to award CCD or CEP point. More than one webinar mode. MS Team, Zoom, we use Skype subscription account for concurrent training. Can log in 1 to 6 training per day on different breakout room. 1 to 6 training per day on different breakout room. Can log in 1 to 6 training per day on different breakout room. All these are old technology, right? Which were there for the past decade, but it took time to be accepted. We at ISO Group just re-engineer, rebundle and repackage the new or old IoT technologies for the post-pandemic world. Whether COVID-19, second wave or third wave or COVID-21 or other mutation attack therefrom. And wow, now our competency operation online system come alive. This is our e-learning LMS platform for varied competency theory training for MHE, like forklift and so on. All right, MEWP, mobile elevating work platform for skylift, boom lift, scissors lift, for defensive driving training, lorry, cars, motorbike, crane and plant inspection, overhead traveling cranes, crane lifting planner, crane lifting supervisor, rigging and slinging, and so on. Now everyone can fly. Sorry. Now everyone can learn with ISO group, even with COVID-19 lockdown. We also provide the online progress report for management. Easy access for management to know current status for all their workers who attend 24/7 LMS, learning management system. All right, management do not have to email to ISO group each time to find the latest status of license to be reviewed. All right, we provide the online database for management, easy to refer. All right, for example, in the red round circle, Naila, we notice she has not even started her LMS. But in the green round circle, Mimi, right, she has since finished the slide and passed the theory assessment. Right, this link given to management allows them to self-monitor and give a gentle reminder for those workers who are overdue in their training. Online webinar and post-theory test via tablets for all type of training from the ISO group. The feedback from our customers are more than satisfied with our total solution package. Feedback from our customers, they are more than satisfied with our total solution package. Department of Occupational Safety and Health Officer visited our online class. They came to ensure their program was carried out in accordance with predetermined standard, and he commented that our online training was very interactive. So, what did we repackage? New old technology. Let us see what the ETNZ team does. The technology design can make a difference between winning and losing.
The America's Cup is the oldest sports trophy ever.
The technology and the design can really make the difference between winning and losing.
So the simulator, and it started off with a little Gran Turismo type steering wheel. It's now in this campaign, a full motion master surround screen machine with a very strong physics model behind it.
You have a simulator that's completely repeatable. If you give it exactly the same inputs, you can model the same weather conditions, you can model the boat going through the same waves. So if we change the foil from this size to that size and we run it again through exactly the same conditions, you can say, is it better or is it worse? And you can measure that too really accurately. However, to drive the simulator, you've got to have sailors involved in that.
There's also just the human bias in terms of the simulator testing. If they know that a foil or a rudder is bigger or smaller, then they expect it to perform better or worse.
So, what did we package? New old technology. For example, let us see what the ETNZ team does. The technology design can make a difference between winning and losing. We at ISO Group use simulators, VR, virtual reality, crane lifting planner software, and so on. Gadget for all our competency training like forklift, defensive driving of cars, ambulance, lorry, overhead driving crane, and crane lifting planning. We even use motorbike martial radio communication. Our trainers are big bikers rider. It is new but old technology. Our motorbike simulator is portable. We can set up at anywhere. After we set it up, we sanitize it and leave the premises. Then the participant now take turn to enter the premises and do their practical training and test on simulator. We reset from online after each participant has done his turn. Our simulator provide a different riding scenario and automatically calculate the demerit marks. We run simulators for defensive driving training and assessment for lorry, car, and ambulance drivers. Different demerit weightage and auto assessment mean competency skill operation. It is also provide different environments like a day or night. I can turn the globe back or forth or sunny or rainy. I can control the weather. All right, and highway or town driving. I do not have the opportunity of these 6 different scenarios in 30 minutes actual in cab drive. Where necessary, we also have options for camera recording for real-time or delay assessment if internet has coverage weak. When necessary, we also have options for camera recording for real-time or delay assessment if internet coverage is weak. Apart of assessment via simulators, we also conduct on-site practical assessment. If we look now, we use an online network to assess drivers by setting up several sets of cameras from different angles. Connected to other participant tablets who are stand out the premises, and also online to assessors who can be 1,000 of kilometers away, like Taiwan or East Malaysia. Assessor can look at it from a variety of angles. Assessor can see the participant driving, how they're holding the steering, how much the following distance, and selection of correct lane, enter a roundabout, and recognize, understand the hazard and action, REA technique, and attention to other signboard, and so on. At ISO Group, we even re-engineer a non-destructive test hydroplaning simulator, wherein our trainer do not have to be inside the cabin of the vehicle, all right, to ensure social distancing, especially in a car cabin, a confined space. At ISO Group, we even re-engineer a non-destructive test hydroplaning simulator, wherein our trainer do not need to be inside the cabin of the vehicle to ensure social distancing, especially in car cabin. It is a confined space. We launched this invention and have since been conferred the first non-destructive test hydroplaning simulator by the Malaysia Book of Record. We propose our VR online OTC inspection training and assessment to the Director General of Department Occupational Safety and Health Malaysia. This program is now accepted by Petronas Group. Our overhead travelling crane inspection practical is also online. It is a full range of inspection for overhead travelling crane, especially in competency training and assessment. Rigging and slinging, the practical assessment using crane expert simulation. It is for better understand and more explanation to participant.
Ini master sling. Okey, bila saya ada sling, sini ada satu keras punya. Sini ada satu lembut punya. Bawah. Boleh faham sini tuan-tuan? Tak faham, masuk ke dalam. Masuk ke dalam. Okey, saya sling buat sling yang macam sudah curi. Okey. So, tengok ini high five. Baik lagi. Okey.
Very effective. Alright, we provide crane lifting planning software where participants can place different restrictions based on actual rigid environment, like buildings, plant, obstruction, any electrical pylon, limited type of crane available for use, any asymmetrical loads, off balance loads, and tandem lifting. The software paid about $1,000 for one user. Very useful to make sure your project has zero accident, zero reporting, and zero penalty. All right. These are all competency-based program that we adopted it into our online competency training and assessment. It is a full set of equipment with accessories. We loan to each individual participant for theory and practical training and assessment. All right, we provide a complete set of tablet with accessories like earphones, chargers, and cables. The tablet inclusive of SIM card or internet coverage, and safety helmet with camera for practical session, internet router, and other cameras. All right, we sanitize it before and after the training session. Why do we send tablet and accessories to each individual participant? We understand the pain point. Workers work from home, children also study from home. We understand their pain point. They can't use a home computer or tablet if they need to attend our online training. Hence, we provide all the tablets on free loan basis, no extra charge, and free courier to and fro. Suddenly, we are all living in a world where minimizing physical contact is a necessity. The advantage of wearable technology and using AI or VR or simulators or software has become the minimum benchmark.
System.
Even after COVID-19 pandemic is declared over, it is still leave a lasting footprint on the safety and health SOP. Will be up to individual. It will be up to individual businesses to embrace the new method and new old technologies or improvement their form. Right? In the process, we keep human capital safe. Online assessment for MHE like forklift, reach truck, reach taker, and so on. We deliver all the equipment and assist participants to set up for practical simulation area by giving them the plan and side view. Right, our trainer will teach the exact sequence of steps for participants to follow and subsequently make a practical assessment. Again, the assessor can look at it from all angles simultaneously. That is a power of IoT. Trainees, workers with social distancing, absence of our trainers or assessor, but the assessor is there via online with operator. Assessor can fully see all the operators and assistant hand and leg movement, where they standing position, even their eyes or head movement, the assessor can fully see.
Ada apa nak tanya? Boleh nampak? Kita punya
Alright,
point A.
lorry loader crane for inspection and operation training and assessment also in online.
Berhenti sebelum 1 meter, so semua nak kena ikut. Okay? Ada soalan tentang sebagai boleh?
Boleh bang.
Okay. Sekarang boleh operator boleh nampak you tak?
Boleh bang.
Okay, tolong bagi signal. Kalau dia pergi putar, you akan kena langgar tak?
Tak mungkin bang sebab ada jauh daripada ada jalan.
Our online training and assessment of MEWP boom lift operations was participants are offshore in Taiwan. We do remote online assessment via video recording on their vessel offshore for their API certification. The MNC company construct offshore or rig and windmills. This is a sample of some of our online training brochures. All right, we have defensive driving training online, and we have material handling equipment, forklift, reach truck, reach stacker, and so on. We have MEWP, all right, mobile elevating work platform, boom lift, scissors lift, and sky lift, also online, and rigging, slinging, signalman, signaling, and tagline holder, also in online, and crane lifting supervisor, all right, and the crane lifting planner, also online, and other training online. Feel free to request for copies of this. We will send to your email right after this session. Beside all above, all right, we provide safety posters on paper come alive. Why come alive? The QR code lead to a video to better explain the reason for the introduction and reminders for safety and productivities. All our courses are approved for online training under CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board of Malaysia, a government agency awarding continuing competency development point, CCD point, Department of Occupational Safety and Health, a government department in charge of many competency skill and awarding continuing education point, CEP point, and the HRD Corporation, formerly known as HRDF, a government agency handling the training grant, and Social Security Organization, SOCSO, for their employment insurance system and Penjana Re-Employment Scheme. We are training provider. That's all from my sharing. Now I pass over to you, Mr. Muhammad Riaz, for Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Captain Abdul Jalil. It was an excellent presentation. I was surprised to see the amount of remote trainings that you have developed, and then you are already approved and imparting these trainings. Amazing. Thank you very much for so much of it. I'm sure a lot of our Malaysian and overseas delegates will utilize this opportunity to capture this important technological development that you guys have done. Hats off to you. Excellent. Thank you very much. So now moving forward for our excellent session, which is always the question and answer session. And I request Captain Abdul Jalil to come live by unmuting his cam, please, Captain Abdul Jalil. I would like to have you on board and let us pose some questions which are here. Hi, Captain. How are you doing today? Thank you.
Good. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Muhammad Riaz.
Hey, walaikum assalam. Thank you very much, man.
Well, good morning to everyone and our valued customer and guests. And for this session, I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan to be join me in this session. Please welcome.
Excellent.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Mr.
hi.
Riaz, Muhammad Riaz, how are you?
Good afternoon once again. Okay, let me first introduce you, man. Let me just give me a minute or so. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan. I can say the mastermind behind this excellent technological development. There has always be a person behind major technological development, and here he is. A lot of abbreviations are there, so we don't have to worry much on that. He is a PMP, PJK, and PBP, PPB, PHF, and JRF principal consultant, founder of IOSO Group, a member of ASSP, ASTD, and SAE Malaysia, US, and also AROSPA. He is a crane lifting director, specialized transportation, which is aggregated to LIA and ASME. He is a certified trainer from the government agencies of HRDF. Also, he's for credentials from the Department of Skill Development. He's an expert panel member in the CIDB and the DST for development of NOSs for various vacation trainings for ABMs. So the list goes on and on and on, and then it's a privilege to have him on board. He is also been awarded a lot of international and local awards. You can see by his look the amount of experience he has got with this company, and the way he is training the competent people. So thank you very much, Tan, for being on board. So can I post a few questions? There are a lot of questions in the chat box. So let me moderate these questions. First of all, I think a lot of people have said congratulations to you. Of course, congratulations for winning this award. And thank you
very much.
Many of us said, I am Mr. So-and-so, I am here. Thank you very much for informing us that you are there on board. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being there. I really appreciate. One question which pops out here is talking about the language barrier, and I'm sure in the presentation of Captain, he has told about the language barrier. You want to quickly give this about how do you overcome the language barrier that is support workers from global factories and sites overseas? Just a quick on this. How do you overcome the language barrier?
Yeah. Thank you very much for your question. And then for many years ago, I heard from Lieutenant Colonel. I think this one is your development actually. Yeah, Frank Tan, over to you.
How we overcome the languages problem? But it is very simple. Somewhere in the US, I remember reading somewhere, but I can't remember now. They do not allow the people there, the trainers there, to teach in other than the mother tongue. Okay, so with that, I thought about it, and then I come up with a tagline which is called "Language shall not be a barrier to knowledge." And from there onwards, more than 10 years ago, we have brought in the Bangladeshi, Hindi, and Myanmarese, Thai, and Vietnamese, and all this. For all the foreign people, workers, except those UK English speaking, who comes over in Malaysia, and we can actually train them so that they can actually understand and how to operate those machines properly without causing hurt to anybody. And that is making us what is a key point of what we are doing here is a success story.
Excellent.
Over to you.
Thank you very much for that excellent. I believe one more thing that I would like to add here is like you need to develop what the person is saying. You need to develop the courses in various languages in basic thing. I'm sure you have the local language and the English language. Excellent. Yeah. So as you rightly said that language should not be a barrier for learning. So
yes, correct.
You can always come back and translate and then put it across.
Can I just add something here? So what we do for the IoT aspect, we actually put a button, and if they do under learning management system on their own, they click there and they can hear the Bangladeshi words coming out. What happens is a lot of foreigners who comes in the last few years, they are not so highly educated and they can't even read their own language, so they need the learn by the voice. Okay, and in case of webinar session, then we have really got people who can speak in their mother tongue. They are not me, they are not Captain Jalil, they are actually Bangladeshi or Myanmarese or Thai or Vietnamese people. So they are the people who host the trainer certificate from the HRDF or whichever body to actually become a trainer, not a translator like what a lot of factories do. They call in some people who has been working there for some years and do the kind of translation. Ours is if you are not able to drive yourself or operate a machine, you cannot be called a trainer. So it must be both ways. Over to you.
Okay. The next very, very delicate and very important question, and very nicely posed. How do you connect between the workers to the trainers? Is it a connect, or it is everything remote? How well do you connect this one?
Right. Thank you for the question. we link the live in two-way communication communication to PPE like a safety helmet. You can see here, right? Safety helmet with our camera for biometric and other hazard solution. So we can say if there any hazard, then we can see. Yeah, over to you.
Excellent, excellent. You want to add anything on that, Kana?
I think that's about it. But put it this way, we connect even a earphone so they can actually hear us clearly, because the forklift, if it is diesel, you can't practically hear it. So we have an earphone plug in, and we have a sling back, and everything is all complete. They can actually operate very well. They can talk with us, they can ask us questions, and when we demo, in case we are on site, we demo, they can stand very far away. I can't even see them, and when I demo, they can see everything. Whatever I see, they see. And when they do the test, whatever they see, I see, because I've been looking at the tablet now. And the tablet is very special. We actually have what Captain Jale is showing now. There is a tablet where you can see 4 frames, and you can see from 4 paradigms. 4 paradigms. So you can see in front of the fork, you can see behind the forklift, you can see on the side, you can see whether it's already knocking the lorry tires and what so forth. Okay, over to you.
Excellent, amazing, really amazing. We would really love to have this type of seminars more and more, to know more in depth. Probably we will ask Captain Jalil to do a complete full day seminar only on this subject matter. Excellent. One another question is seems to be very relevant at this point of time. There's a guest who is asking is that we don't have machines. We need to hire those machines, and are there trainers at your place? But during training at your place, do you mix staff or workmen from different factories? Well, I believe it is very clear of the fact is IoT, and many times Captain has informed about the social distancing. So I think that answers it well, but I would love to hear once more from your side. I'm not wearing my face mask, Captain, so because I'm alone in my office. So it's okay.
Okay, I will take that, Captain.
Yeah.
Put it this way, actually everything is social distancing, but sometimes in some factories, the SME especially, they have only maybe 2 or 3 forklift operators, so they cannot afford to send them all at a go, because then nobody will be driving their forklift on a daily basis. So they will send 1 or 2 at a time. But when it comes to this kind of situation, they have to come to our on site at our place. We call that public program in Malaysia, and so we have our forklift and everything all placed up, and everything as per what Captain Jale has just now told about the plan view. And when people come on site, A factory sends 2 guys, B factory sends 1 person, and so forth. But A factory are very concerned about sending their people. If I get your the question right, they are very concerned about my factory workers mixing with your other factories workers, and if they can COVID, I also get COVID. My people, so they don't want that. As far as our trainer is concerned, we all got our jab already. No issue. All our trainer except the admin staff still waiting for the dates to be vaccinated. But what happened is we give them a free RTK test. All right. We sponsor. It's no additional cost. It's already built in. We just want to help the government to actually cut the chain of COVID-19. So I hope that answers your question.
Amazing. It's an amazing effort from your side. It's of course a helping hand to the agencies and the government authorities that you are doing free tests. Excellent, and I guess that answers it very well. So I think we run time at this point of time. It was excellent Q&A session. Thank you, Captain Jarir. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel, for this excellent session. I think it's the right time to move on to our next speaker for the day. I request you to mute your cams and let me move on to our next presenter of the day.
Thank you, Ras.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Rias.
Thank you all. Appreciate. Now let's move on to our next session for the day. Here we have our trainer, Mr. Alex Lee. He is an approved trainer from material handling equipment, covering forklift, reach stackers, empty container lifters, and under the APIs. He is also an approved trainer by the government agencies of Human Resource Development Corporation for Malaysia, and he has been in the training department, and he has trained many industries. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Alex Lee to present his technical program, which is titled as Use of Patent Eye-Ray Eyes Technology in Competency Operations of Material Handling Equipments. Use of the patented Eye-Ray Eyes technology in competency operations of material handling equipments. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Alex Lee.
Thank you to Mr. Muhammad Rias. Good afternoon, MSLTA Chairman Datuk Noel Roberts, ladies and gentlemen from wherever you are. My name is Alex Lim, and today I will share with you on the topic, use of the patented Eye-Ray Eyes technology in competency operation of material handling equipment (MHE). Factory and Machinery Act 1967 of Malaysia. Machinery includes driven machinery, material handling equipment. What does material handling equipment means? Material handling equipment means any power-driven equipment for handling materials and includes forklift. MHE is now an item listed specifically under machine where operator require training. In USA and other countries, there are laws terms it as powered industrial truck. Section 26 of the Act, training and supervision of inexperienced workers. No person shall be employed in any machine or in any process, being a machine or process liable to cause bodily injury, unless he has been fully instructed and he receives sufficient instruction in work at the machine or process, or is under adequate supervision by a person who has knowledge and experience of the machine or process. So, who to determine the sufficient instruction, process, knowledge, experience, and who can supervise? Sufficient instruction and process will cover the tool set, skill set, incorporating load chart, use of other attachment, working in tight environment, minimum movement in darker environment, high rank of forklift operations. Much more does the training given by other forklift operator experience in terms of years. Good enough as per the Section 26 of the Act of Parliament. Does the experience of forklift operators know all the tool set and set the skill set I just mentioned? Does the experienced forklift operator want to be held responsible when an accident happens? On the other hand, does any external training company or trainer want to be responsible and to go to court if called upon to attend as witness, ambiguous in terms of his personal experience and certification? What is an adequate training? Who select the trainer? It is the safety or warehouse or training manager. Thus, do this manager understand what is a good training for forklift restruct suitable for the environment? In the last 18 years, ISO Group only remember one manager, actually, a lady general manager from UK, attached to a logistic multinational company. He can competently operate a forklift and restruct. This situation happened about 12 years ago. There was a HR training manager earlier haggling with Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan regarding the number of training days and price. Join in the meeting. Within 5 minutes of further discussion, the GM assigned the training to ISO group because she understood our details and complete system of forklift operation training. My further question is, do normal manager or coordinator sit in the training section, especially during when training is being conducted and deliver what was promised by those trainers? We came across many occasions where the training manager coordinator show us the course content of another competitor training provider. Let us call it company A here, which is a direct copy from our detailed training contents and ask us whether we cover the contents as highlighted therein. Of course, we say yes, and we explain how it is conducted, and most of the time we ask whether it is what was told. And all the time they said, this is not what we heard from the others company. That trainings company A show how somehow remove our ISO watermark logo. They do not and are not and cannot legally teach our 5i Ray ICE technology and all the others content as mentioned. All training companies worldwide do not have this system. We and the ISO group hold the patents which is registered owner for 20 years. The intellectual property copyright patents office share around the world for 6 years in way to find a similar system. Why in win? It is because this system was researched and developed by Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan and tested over thousands of forklift research and others MHE operators in the initial years of the ISO group. We have done a lot of research of safety and productivity with the use of our patented 5i Ray ICE technique and see the drastic reduction in forklift accident to goods, machine, environment, and workers, as well as increase in productivity timings and accuracy and turnaround of load move. Benefits include systematic maneuvering of MHE, do not hit obstruction on floor, no downtime, optimal fleet size due to productivity in loading and unloading, saving in equipment rental and maintenance costs. Other benefits include ensure perfect pivot point to turn to side of lorry or racking or stacking area. Ensure perfect point to stop. Yields, efficient and accuracy. Increase productivity and quality, lower cost, safer work environment, and higher workers' morale. This innovative method has been accorded patent and won multiple awards in Best Innovation, Best Safety, Best Technology, Best Training from many local and international safety and trade organizations. Amongst ROSPA of UK, ASSE, now known as ASSP of USA, and the Malaysian Oil and Gas Services Council. Our training is adopted by the American Petroleum Institute USA as a behavior-based safety MHE operation training, and our trainers are approved by API USA and various other institutions like the Department of Skill Department, which is the only government department they legalized to issue Malaysian skill certificate in vocational training, blue-collar skill training, and material handling equipment, and many other professions. This is our all 11 international and local awards, plus one more just awarded a few hours ago by our MSLTA chairman, Dr. Noel Robert. This is our forklift or risk tackle, operators should realize that they have become big, very large like the Bumblebee transformer. So it is easy to become involved in an accident because of its sheer size. What is this 5-eye rear eyes technology? Normally, our trainees, after the training, renamed this system as Superman X-ray eyes technology because they can see through blind spot. Before I go into the topic, I would like to say that many companies face nearly the same problem and resulting accidents. Example, when a forklift operator is performing loading and unloading, the fork goes into the pallet and the fork tip hit the wall behind or the emergency fire water pipe. This happened in a hard disk manufacturing company many years ago, and all the hard disks went for a swimming lesson. Do you think the hard disk can still be sold? In many other cases, some of which are many cars, lorry assembly plants, one importer, stockist come distributor of expensive perfume, two oil and gas services and product manufacturer used to beget some training company. One manufacturer of fiber cement board exporting majority to Middle East country. The fork hit the load or the drain covered behind the load being lifted. So many other real case study to tell, but because of time constraint, I will not go further. If operators use our 5-eye rear eyes technology, it will prevent this type of many other types of accidents. I will now share with you the detail of what is eye rear eyes number 1 to number 5. Eye rear eyes number 1 indicator suitable place of the forklift where your line of sight is aligned to the top edge of the backrest when the fork is 6 inches from the floor. When the forklift operator is carrying a large size load with total blind spot, then the forklift can avoid the fork hitting a pedestrian's heel or the fork hitting many road harm within a factory compound. Example, at a company manufacturing air conditioner unit for the Middle East market. We have trained over 400 packs forklift operators every year. Or at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, we are currently teaching over 1,000 packs forklift operators. Eye rear eyes number 1 can also prevent the fork or pedal hitting the ground whilst descending, causing fork angles break, cause it about USD 1,000, or cause pallet damage or load carrier overturned or tilted, all of which will create havoc. Eye rear eyes number 2 indicator is positioned at an appropriate place of the forklift where the line of sight aligned to the top edge of the backrest when the fork is 12 inches from the floor. The purpose is when our forklift need to drive up a ramp with a large load and drive down without a road. The fork tip will otherwise hit the ramp or floor. When hitting the ramp or floor, the surge will cause the forklift operator, if they do not wear seatbelt, will be drawn from his seat. And with the forklift overturned at the ramp can crush the forklift operator to death. Eye rear eyes number 3 indicator positioner suitable place for the forklift with the line of sight aligned to the bottom center of the pivot point, example, the front tires. If turning point is correct, then the forklift can make turning in a narrow area, 6 inches in front of the fork and 6 inches on the rear of the forklift, irrespective of the make of model of the forklift. In the case of racetrack, the indicator is positioned at the different place of the racetrack. Area ice number 4, indicator positioned at an suitable place of the forklift with the line of sight aligned to the safety line next to the racking or stacking area, or suitable place next to the lorry when the tips of the fork is squarely at the safety line. This indicator is used when the forklift operator perform loading and unloading process of a large load. No need to worry that the fork will hit the lorry tires or other pallet on the racking, whether the fork is going up or coming down. Area ice number 5, indicator positioned at suitable place of the forklift with the line of sight aligned to the safety line when the backrest of the fork is parallel to the safety line. This indicator used concurrently with our standard 2-step method of loading and unloading will ensure that the backrest do not hit the pallet on the upper racking. In an incident maybe 8 years ago, the upper load of pushed by a backrest and the pallet with load was pushed down over the other side of the racking. The load dropped and killed the forklift operator's own mother, who was working as warehouse picker. The boss of the factory asked us to conduct the forklift training day after with a condition to backdate the training certificate. Lieutenant Colonel Frank declined the request. That brings up the subject as to whether trainer will be held responsible for improper training. This picture shows that the 5-eye rear eyes technology can also be used in forklift telehandler operations. Now, I will show a video of how the 5-eye rear eyes is implemented for use on a USD 1.7 million 72-ton wrist tackle. Before that, let me narrate a real case study at a seaport in Selangor, Malaysia. A wrist tackle operator was lifting a full laden container from a stack of many others containers. The container was lowered from a high stack to the ground level. He was not aware that the container was too low and touched the ground. When he reversed his wrist tackle, the container was dragging on the floor. The wrist tackle was holding the fully laden 40-foot container. Total container and load weighing about 31 tons on its spreader. The twist lock on the spreader was literally torn off. The wrist tackle, just like a crab without its crank, became incapacitated and was left idle and had to wait for a few months to be repaired. I hope you can understand the loss of productivity from the wrist tackle. Luckily, they had another wrist tackle. The Bangladeshi wrist tackle operator learned his operation skill from some trainers who does not use the 5-eye rear eyes technology. Now we will go into the video. We have a look at the video, so you can see it. So we are using eyes number 3 to turn in to carry a container, or we are loading the container or unloading the container. So when we turn in, we must see number 4 is this reach the safety line. Okay, if reach ready, then we will rise up our boom. Then we will squarely going in. We reach our number 5. Eyes number 5. Squarely going in. Okay. Once you squarely going in, we reach number 5, then we will stop. Then we will put our container squarely on top of the container below. Okay. So we put it down. So squarely, is it squarely? Yeah, it's squarely, then only we put down. After we put down, yeah, we open the twist lock. Yeah, then we twist lock open, then we rise up our boom, our spreader is about 1 feet. After 1 feet, we must make sure it's clear. Okay, once it's clear, then we rise up to 2 feet, then only we reverse out from the container. Once we reverse out, make sure we reverse until number 4. Yeah, once the number 4 is reached, then we move lower down our boom to number 1, the spreader to the number 1. Okay, after that we reverse out from the loading and unloading place. So before you loading and before you reverse, you must make sure you see behind. Okay, once you're out from the loading unloading place, yeah, make sure you want to move. Before you move, you must go for gear left and right. Behind we have to stay, then we move. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. We will now go to the question and answer session. Over to you, Mr. Riaz. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. A really a very innovative, as you said, patented. Yes, it looks. I have not seen such an attempt being done in my 28 years of HSE, and I have myself. I am capable of operating a forklift. And I have never had a chance to understand such a in-depth, innovative way of taking the training with this 5 I-ray eyes technology. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. And then with this recorded session, I would request Mr. Alex Lev to be on live by unmuting his cam, please. Hey.
Hi, Mr. Riaz. How are you?
Good. You had a chance to take your lunch. You grabbed a lunch?
Not yet.
All right. Okay, good.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation, man. Appreciate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Riaz.
Yeah.
So now I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan to join me in the section also.
All right. That's good.
Please.
That's excellent.
Hi.
So, always.
Back again.
Yeah, it's always good to have you back, Frank. We have a couple of very good questions, but few are not so very good questions. I would take only relevant questions, my dear delegates. There are few not so relevant. So in order to maintain my timeline, I would like to take only those relevant questions which have been posed here. So please don't mind for the questions that I may miss due to time and due to the objective of the presentation. So I will stick to the presentation subject matter. So one such question, guys, I would like to just pick up here is there's one forklift and probably there are many operators. These many operators have got physical challenges. They may be a tall operator, they may be not so tall operators, and then placing your stickers. What is your reference point and how do you do this?
Okay, so there's a very good question also. Okay, so we can say that we have developed this from a simple masking tape. Okay, it's more than 10 years ago lah. So when I joined Lieutenant Colonel Frank, during those time, for practical forklift wrist tackle or wrist strap training, later Frank come up with an extra line on the masking tape. So at the beside there, they mark it up A, B, C, D, E. for the people of the different heights. Okay, for example, yeah, for Frank, he's using C. Okay, whilst for me, I refer to B because I'm a little bit taller than Frank. Okay, so maybe I will be refer to the B. Then hopefully I can answer your questions. So I think Frank got a little bit thing need to add something also.
Yeah.
Well, he keep on wanting to say that he's 1 cm taller than me. Okay, so actually, you can see over here, this is a forklift. Because of virtual background, you can't see clearly. All right, so we had actually got all these markings over there. And if you look at the sticker that we provide, it has got the 1 cm what do you call the ruler over there, and that makes it easy for all the operators. Okay, it's only a guide for training and assessment time. And after a few rounds of with the sticker, if the sticker should drop off, no issue. You actually can experienced guy already by that time. He actually can refer to any spot on the forklift to make sure that his eyes is aligned to that sticker, or the number 2 or number 3, A or B, and then he refers to whatever we teach them on the outside of the forklift. So everything should be fine. Okay, that's all. Over to you.
Excellent. Interesting. Every small thing is innovation, and every small thing you do is an innovation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that. And I have one question here, but I don't know how well it is understandable. I believe the way I understand here is 5-array sticker can implement to telehandler and read stackers. Other than this, what kind of other machines can we apply these 5-array stickers?
All material handling equipment, it is designed for that way. Only that in larger machines, sometimes we have the I number 1 and I number 1, two. You can put 2 together because of the sheer size when you look out, So, but it can be used for empty container lifter as much as for the reach stacker. It can be used for even the bobcat, where the front end loader, where the arm moves up and down. And we have tried it on all the empty container lifter. We have tried it on all the machines because we teach all this full range of machines. So it has been tested already.
Good, inshallah. That's excellent. So are the sticker purchasable, or do you sell them out in bulk, or how do you, I mean, like, what's your logistics on this?
Alex, I will take that if you don't mind.
Sure.
We don't actually sell the stickers. What we do is we give away the sticker for free. Okay, for free, 0 cost. Okay, and it's only that after the training, then we give you the one full set of the stickers, and you stick it into the relevant place. We teach you how to stick it over there, and then how to refer, and so that when we are not around, you are able to continue doing. The participant is able to continue doing it, all right, on their own without having the sticker. They also know it's only a reference for the training time and the assessment time, and at least a few months later until they are very used to it already. And by that time, the sticker will have dropped off, or if they want extra, you can buy. He can take from us again and stick it there. No issue.
Okay. That's great. Interesting. See, every training or every what you call it, the technical presentation, it's a good news, right? So the good news has to be delivered, or any innovation comes through certain amount of observations, certain amount of thing which happens in the past. So you learn from there. Maybe you learn from hard way, or you learn through studies. What like, I would like to share one such incident which I have faced in the refinery. Unfortunately, forklift seems to be a very cool operation equipment. So the most of the time I see the operators, they are very cool, they're chilled, and now it's just like because it moves in a very slow speed. They think it's easy and there's no incidents do happen. So one such evening post office hours, that's office hours in most of the countries in GCC is 3 p.m. So beyond 3 p.m., it so happened that this forklift guy was called in the open storage area where they had to receive the tank metal sheets.
Mm.
So he was called in, and then with his little knowledge, he brought in a large capacity forklift and started to unload. So he basically unloaded probably a plate or so, and then that big forklift was not operating to his requirement. So he decided by his own, I can use a little lower capacity because the weight weighs, the weighing weighs, the plate is okay for the forklift. But what he failed to understand is the size of the plate. So you can imagine the tank plate, the storage tank plate. It's huge. So this gentleman, he decided to use this forklift, pick up the forklift, and then he moved back to put it aside. He is basically unloading from the truck to the ground. So when he was doing that, because he was not wearing his safety belt, the forklift turned off, and then first he fell and the forklift landed on his head. When he fell, of course, he was not wearing his chin strap, the helmet came off, and then he fell to the ground, and the forklift frame, unfortunately, the frame, cabin frame, landed on his head. Yep, it landed on his head. So the whole body is intact. You see, the fall is just hardly 2 feet. So the fall is also very small fall. But what is the end result? He fell. The forklift fell on top of him, just the frame part of it, and then he was declared dead on the spot. So it's a very unfortunate. So and training the operators are very, very important aspect in any operations. This is a hard way of learning. After that, we brought in a lot of procedures, a lot of programs. Even in the store area, we made it a permit area. Before it was a non-permit area, not work permit area. So we included even the workshop. When you want to do a job, it has to have a work permit. So that's one way to control activities. So like this, and your presentation for today is also very interesting. So whoever is attending here, safety guys, I'm sure you will go and communicate to your companies about training, and training. That's very important. Thank you very much.
Riaz, can I say a few words? I think there are three great points from the story you just told us, and it's definitely a truth because this happens everywhere. We've seen such accidents. Can I just highlight three important matters that you have just shown in that story,
Sure.
which I believe is true. Okay, first, in the first place, you're talking about the tank or ISO tank or whatever content. When you are lifting this item, this size, let's say it's 2.5 tons, and we are carrying here is 3 tons. Well, no problem. Same, but bigger size.
Correct.
All right. So it means the center of gravity is not at the center of this box already. Because this size, the center of gravity comes here. So when you carry a load, which is here plus here, the center of gravity has moved out from the ankle here. So
correct. Absolutely.
Very common. Second point we talk about here. So this understanding of the load chart, irrespective of the same tonnage, even though it's bigger size, but it's a same tonnage, same weight, will cause the same fault. A lot of people always think, I'm driving a 3 ton, I'm taking a 2.5 ton, no issue, every time no issue. But the next round you do is a big load, but it's also 2.5 ton and it overturns. So this is what Mr. Riaz is coming at. So it's good. And the other thing is, this is called the falling object protection structure. All right, this falling object protection structure is to prevent anything it drops, okay, at certain distance, and you come down. The speed, even a 5 kg, you can lift with your hand, drop in your head, you can get killed. All right. So this falling object protection structure can also kill you, like in the case where Riaz just mentioned. He fell out, and this same protection structure actually killed him here. All right. So that is another important factor. So what is the control here? Is put on the seat belt. A lot of people think seat belt not necessary. It's only 10 kilometers per hour or 5 kilometers per hour. No risk. That is the worst thing. Okay, when they overturn, a lot of people will actually try to jump, and when they jump, this thing kills. All right, the protection structure. So we talk about that. Over to you, Mr. Yeah, thank you very much for bringing up that story.
It's a sad, because I had met this gentleman. You will not believe. I had met this gentleman a week before, and why did I meet him? In order to give him best near miss report submission. Imagine, he was so delighted. We gave him a very good cash award. So we gave him a cash award. We gave him a certificate. He had not seen a certificate, and he was our contractor. And then and imagine a client giving him like Petronas is giving a certificate to their subcontractors, calling him to his office, and they're saying they appreciate, thank you very much for submitting such a excellent near miss report. And then he was so delighted. He was an Egyptian national, but he was so delighted, and then he thanked the certificate as well as the cash amount that he got it, because that cash amount for him, it was very, very big amount. So then the very next week, we came to see such an incident, and it was really, really very hurting for me. So let's move on with the. I think we have another question. Do we have time? I think we don't have time. But is there any? Okay, fine. One question, I think you guys can answer this one. Is there any innovation idea to install reverse sensor for forklift? I think there's already exists one.
It's already there. It's already there.
Yeah, if I know, it's already there.
But most of the time, it is spoiled and it doesn't function. But the boss, when his own car gets a little scratch, a little scratch, they'll send it to the repair shop. But when the forklift gets all the scratches all over here, within the 3 hours of entering the plant, nobody bothers.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You are absolutely right. It's the same like we insist on reverse alarm. There's a beep alarm which is all the equipment does have. When this also is not working, not functional, they just impaired. It's okay. And what is the charge? Maybe 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit for this one to get it done? Oh no. So interesting. So that's about it. Can we use 5-ray eye patent system freely at our premises? Nothing comes for free, Mr. Aziz. I answered it for. So he says, can we use 5-ray eyes patent system freely at our premises? So I don't think that comes to the training. This is the innovation. It's a training you should appreciate, and you should go ahead and support and train. So with this, thank you very much, Alex, and thank you for Lieutenant Colonel Frank for answering such questions, and excellent. So ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next program for the day, next presenter for the day. We have here with us Mr. Alif Hazik Roslan. He is a mechanical engineer and he is a qualified trainer for specialized heavy lifting transports. Now, it's a very important topic that Mr. Alif is touching here, the bloodstream of material handling equipment. Now, when I say bloodstream, it's about like hydraulic system. Any lifting equipment has got hydraulic systems. So having this hydraulic system, maintaining it healthy, it's a very big task, and most of the time it is neglected. And though the incidents happen rarely, but when it happens with a bad result. So talking about the topic for the third presentation for the day, it's inspection of hydraulic system, the bloodstream of material handling equipment, mobile elevating work platform and hosting machines. So today we have with us Mr. Alif. Again, we will start with his presentation recording, then followed by the Q&A live. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to present Mr. Alif Hazik Roslan to talk about his technical presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Riaz, our event moderator for today. Assalamualaikum and good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. My name is Alif Hazik bin Roslan. I'm from Malaysia. I am a mechanical engineer from Instos Option Sedan Berhad. I will be the speaker for this session. Now allow me to introduce my topic. My topic is inspection of hydraulic system, the bloodstream of material handling equipment, mobile elevating work platform, and hoisting machines. Now let's get to the contents. Here is my list of contents. Number 1, why is it important to do inspection on the machines? I will show you guys two incident picture. Number 2, what is it the right way to conduct inspection? Number 3, introduction on hydraulic system. I will introduce the basic concept of hydraulic system. Number 4, managing hydraulic system leakage. Number 5, types of hydraulic leakage. We will talk about external and internal leakage. Number 6 and 7 is some of the way and tools, advanced tools that we can use to help us in the inspection. We will look into the ultrasonic tools and also the black light sensitive dyes. Let's get into the first topic. Why is it important to do inspection on the machines? Here is the picture of a real incident that happened. I cannot say where or what company in here. However, this is a reach taker. They are used for lifting cargo container, and usually they are used for staking container at a seaport or inland ports. What happened here is one of the hydraulic system is leaking and then it catch fire. Luckily, there are fire extinguisher on the machine. So with the quick action by the operator, they prevent more catastrophic incidents from happen. Okay, most people think it is not important to do maintenance or inspections because the reach taker is seldom used or maybe less usage because of this movement control order, MCO. But now, as the incident happened, it is a loss for the company. Now, because they lost productivity as the machine took some time to be repaired. Next is incidents of hydraulic system failure on forklift. As you can see here, the hydraulic oil burst out straight to the operator while he tried to raise the fork mess here. Luckily, there's no load on the mess when this happened. If not, the load can topple down and hit the racking system. But still, because of this hydraulic stop, it spoiled their product as it is not a food grade. From the incident, what can you think? What is the root cause here? For me, it could be because there is no operation inspection is done, or maybe the operator do not know where to inspect. Okay, it could be because of the cable tie for the hydraulic hose to the mess broken. Therefore, the hose grazed into the nearby chain. Or also it could be because of the maintenance team fault. Okay, the operator had done the report, but no action taken by the maintenance team. Okay, so the important things here is to do inspection for this machine properly. Then we can reduce or prevent such incident from happening. Now let's discuss further on the importance of inspections. Number 1, is it for cut? Now let's discuss further on the importance of inspections. Number 1 is for safety, but who? Actually, it's not only for the safety of the operator, but also for other worker and lifting cut. Now let's discuss further on the importance of inspection. Number one is for the safety, but who? Actually, it's not only for the safety of the operator, but also for the other worker and the people nearby. Okay, for example, in crane lifting operation, if any incident happens, not only it danger to the operator crane, but also it danger to the lifting team that are working below. Number two is problem preventions. When we do inspection, we can identify any issue faster and at earlier stage. With regular inspections, the maintenance team can fix the problem before they cause more severe issue. Next, increase the productivity or increase the uptime for your machines. You can finish your project within the scheduled time. Next is increase productivity or increase uptime for your machines, meaning that you can finish your project within the scheduled time. Then we can also reduce downtime. When a problem is found during regular scheduled inspection, then the maintenance teams can work with the owner or project supervisor to find a suitable time to fix the problem. This can help to keep your productivity time at as high as possible. And of course, another important thing is to save money. When your machine is down, your productivity is down. Then this is all contribute to your cost. If you can imagine, if there is any catastrophic incident happens, how much money will you lose? Now, after we know the important thing to do inspection, now we take a look on what is the after we know what is it after we know why is it important to do inspection. Now we take a look to the what is the right way to do inspections. Now after you know why is it important to do inspection, we will take a look on the what is the right way to do inspections. Number one is using the effective tools. For example here, we use the checklist form. For inspection, we need the checklist. It must be detailed and specific for each machine, meaning every machine that we own need to have its own checklist form. Next, providing personnel with training. They need to attend training on how to conduct a proper inspections for the respective equipment used. Point number three, giving personnel enough time to conduct inspection properly. I think this is very clear. Number four, fostering an attitude. From top management down, they all need to understand how important is it to do inspections. Inspecting equipment should be viewed as the best practice, not as something that are done only because of its mandates. So everyone here need to see this as an opportunity to increase productivity, reduce costs, and improve safety in a systematic way. Next, I will show you how our company do inspection using IoT during this pandemic COVID-19. Let's play the video. Now we do inspection for boom lift. We do visual inspection. We look at the structure here. We look at the hose. We look at the tire, all the nuts, all the decal, sticker. We check the battery. Now we check the functional of the machine. We go up, we go down, we move forward, we move backward to check the brake, to check all the steering hydraulics. We extend the boom, we swing the boom. Now, new topic, introduction on hydraulic system. Let's look at the definitions. The hydraulic system uses a fluid under pressure to drive machinery or move mechanical components. Okay, the complexity of the hydraulic system depends on its specific use. However, all hydraulic systems work through the same basic concept. This picture over here shows a basic concept of hydraulic circuits. As you can see, the basic component for hydraulic system is you need to have the reservoir tank, filter, the oil filter, the pump, okay, the pressure line, we can have the relief valve, the control valve, the piston here, the return line. Okay, so how does it work here is the hydraulic oil from the reservoir tank will be pumped to the hydraulic oil from the reservoir tank will be pumped to the cylinder. Okay, it will bypass the relief valve and the control valve. So the control valve here will direct the fluid into the specific piston or to the specific cylinder. Okay, the pressurized fluid will push the rod forward or will move the rod that attached to the moving component of the machine. Then the low pressurized fluid will return to the reservoir. Alright, this is just the very basic of hydraulic circuits. As you can see, if any components is broken, it will affect the whole hydraulic system. Let's see the basic flow of hydraulic system in our machines. In this animation, here is the forklift. As you can see here, the engine will power the pump. The pump will pumping the hydraulic fluid from the reservoir tank to the distribution valve. Then it will direct the fluid to the cylinder, maybe to the tip cylinder, lift cylinder, or the steering cylinder. Okay, same goes with the boom lift over here. The electro pump will pumping the hydraulic fluid to the distribution valve and to the specific cylinder. Next topic is managing hydraulic system leakage. It is really unfortunate if we cannot identify any leakage on our equipment, but it is more worse if the leaks identified are left to drip away. In some cases, they don't bother to repair the leak because the leaks are very small, so they just top up the hydraulic fluid if the level is low. Actually, we lost more than the fluid cost. Okay, our profit will go to the unnecessary energy consumption. Okay, then our equipment performance also reduce. Our machine reliability also decrease. Okay, we will increase our housekeeping cost, include our maintenance cost also will increase. But not to forget, these small leaks can damage our whole hydraulic system because it can severely affect the hydraulic system for the machine. Next, leaks can go unnoticed for many reasons. This is because there are no visual indication to alert the operator or to the technician until the system have been severely affected. The component with leaks are typically repaired in unplanned firefighting mode of breakdown maintenance. Then I will talk about the types of hydraulic leaks. So before you can identify and controlling hydraulic system leakage, you need to know there is two types of leakage. This is something that every company with hydraulic asset should be interested in. So the hydraulic system can leak both externally and internally, causing different issue and requiring different solution. This problem can be tackled in variety of ways. For example, number one, make a simple lubrication change. Number two, use advanced technology tool to help detect and manage the hydraulic leakage. Both of these solutions I will elaborate more later, but keep in mind that the key here is to approach faster, earlier detection, and fast response. Now let's move to external leakage first. External leakage is the most recognizable types of leakage. Even the untrained eye can easily spot a broken hose spewing oil. This type of leaks typically will be repaired quickly because it affects the production line or process, but sometimes a constant drip or drop is not always repaired because the system performance and production are not affected. So they just let it be. But in some cases, the location of the leaks is really hard to find and the repair are not worth the effort. So they also just ignore the leakings. So eventually, many companies spend tens of thousands of dollars a year replacing top-up fluids because not really understanding the financial impact of a leakage. Therefore, the detection and quantification of fluid consumption is the first step in external leak control. One way is to maintain an up-to-date reservoir management to determine when, by whom, and also by how much the fluid was required to top up a reservoir. This record should be used along with the visual inspection to determine the location and also the leak rate of the hydraulic system. This is the leak classification table. This table can be used as a method quantification of the leakage rate, and location will allow for the opportunity to prioritize the repair. From this table, there are 5 classes of leakage. Higher number represent higher leakage rate. In many cases, the source and quantity of the leaks cannot be determined as they are difficult to see. The best practice recommends occasionally clean the area and also fully wiping down the equipment to examine the leaks. Now we're looking at how to start detecting external hydraulic leaks faster, because the faster a leak is identified and repaired, the more time. Now we're looking at how to start detecting external hydraulic leaks faster, because the faster a leak is identified and reported, the more time you have to prevent the problems like a last-minute breakdown or a total damage to your hydraulic equipment. There are many ways to help yourself, maintenance and operator to identify problems of the leaks more quickly. Now we look at some of the methods. In order to detect external leaks faster, we should consider to use a hydraulic oil with a distinctive color. When using a specific or a distinctive color compared to other lubricant and fluid for your equipment, this can help us to identify leakage faster. With this method, both skilled or new staff can easily identify the leaks. You can see the difference between distinctive color versus normal hydraulic fluid. Based on this picture, the distinctive color, the green color one, is the hydraulic oil. You can compare by yourself how easily you can identify the drip that represent the leakage. Next method to help detecting external leak faster is to properly train your staff. They need to know where to see, what to see, and know how to do report. They have to inspect all hydraulic components to see any leakage. And if the hydraulic oil used is a different color, it's easy to instruct them to report. For example, green fluid leaks or whatever color your hydraulic fluid may be. Then the maintenance teams can take an immediate action to do the repair. Next, I will talk about the internal hydraulic leaks. Not all the hydraulic leaks are visible or even necessarily bad. What I mean here is for internal leaks, there are planned hydraulic leaks and unplanned hydraulic leaks. Vast majority of hydraulic leak system, vast majority of hydraulic system in operation today have leaks, the leaks that are planned. For internal planned hydraulic leaks, they are designed with a specific function in mind, and in many cases, they are documented by the original equipment manufacturer OEM as amount of acceptable leakage under normal operating conditions. Typically, this internal planned leakage are to lubricate, to clean, and to cool a specific component or area for our machine. Internal unplanned hydraulic leaks, this is the area that you all need to be concerned. The list over here show the most common cause of unplanned excessive internal leakage. Number one here is wearing down of component surface during operation. For example, this could be worn seal or worn a cylinder barrel. Next is poor system design, incorrect component selection. Next is poor system design, incorrect component selection. Here may happen during the manufacturing or the maintenance time. Next point, poor quality control tolerance of components. This is also related with the manufacturing of the components. Last point, incorrect overhaul of rebuilt components. That's why you need to keep in mind that a thorough inspection need to be done every time after the equipment undergoes a major maintenance repair. Last point is incorrect overhaul of rebuilt components. That's why you need to keep in mind that a thorough inspection need to be done every time after the equipment undergoes a major maintenance repair. Now let's see the first warning signs of excessive internal hydraulic leaks. The signs are decrease of system performance or reliability, and also increase of the operating temperature. If you notice any of the sign on your hydraulic system, probably there is excessive internal leakage happening on your machine. Common scenario is when a major power loss in hydraulic system occurred. It usually because of the internal leakage on the pumps and motor. This leakage is the result of the excessive clearance within the pumping mechanism of the pump and the motor, resulting in reduced volumetric efficiency. Slippage is a common term that we use to describe the volumetric loss, and it is typically identified when the input energy remains the same or higher, but less work is being performed in the hydraulic circuit. Another example here is in the hydraulic cylinder. If the cylinder rod drift or clip and the cylinder unable to hold the design load, high chance that it will be the internal leakage. From this picture, it shows that the internal leakage is the result of the fluid bypassing the piston seal, either through a worn seal or a worn cylinder barrel. Here are more examples of internal leaks. In spool valve, excessive internal clearance between the spool and the valve body could decrease the control and the stability of the hydraulic circuits and their functions. Energy loss is the result of the energized fluid that is allowed to escape back to the reservoir through a spool valve that has an out-of-spec clearance problem. Relief valve or other spring offset valve with a weak spring or a jam open condition will have the same effect of the fluid energy loss by allowing the pressurized fluid to bypass the working circuit. Another example of sign for the excessive heat. The excessive heat can reduce the effective viscosity of a fluid, and this will also increase the leakage rates. These types of internal leakage reduce the system performance and decrease the fluid firm strength. That will also result in the premature wear of the equipment surfaces and the fluid's property. Eventually, all these conditions will affect the hydraulic system performance for your machines. Next, how to detect internal leakage. Next, how to detect the internal hydraulic leakage. Then you can use a non-contact infrared thermometers to help measure the operating temperature of your equipment. Heating of hydraulic fluid in the operation is caused by the inefficiency. Where there is a pressure drop, heat is generated. Therefore, if there is internal leakage, it will increase the heat load on the system and can cause the system to overheat. With this kind of tool, you can identify and change the faulty component. In many cases, selecting a fluid and maintaining operating temperature which achieve the OEM recommended viscosity becomes the responsibility of the end user. So you guys can use this viscosity temperature standard charts to assist in selecting the fluid and maintaining the operation temperature, especially at the critical component of your machine. Another great method here is to use ultrasonic tools. Ultrasonic detection has proven to be another effective method of determining high pressure or high velocity leaks in various locations of the valve and also in the cylinder. These methods less the localization of the internal leakage, but similar to temperature reading, the results are not quantifiable into the amount of leakage. Another great method here is to use black light sensitive dyes. This liquid dye is formulated to be compatible with the existing hydraulic fluid and the mechanic surface. The dye is mixed into the reservoir, then the mixture will emit a bright green or yellow glow when struck by the ray of black light. As shown in the picture, you can easily spot the leaks on the hydraulic hose here. This method is great when the leaks are too small or too numerous to see clearly, and it also can help to maintain the exact location of the leakage in the equipment. Here is a simple steps that are great place to start improving your hydraulic leak detection and management with a very associate cost or effort. Here is by taking a closer look at your record keeping and surveillance to understand the trends over time. By matching this data with a robust plan for your performing repair, a significant progress can be made for your hydraulic work equipment. In summary, I hope now when we think about hydraulic system leakage, we know there's a lot of issue associated with it. We are losing power, we're losing reliability of the machines, we're losing the fluid, we're losing time. Of course, we're also losing the money. There is so much cost related for this, not only the fleet cost, but also the downtime, handling cost, and waste management cost, and etc. And the list will keep going on. In the beginning, I show you guys the incident picture related to the hydraulic system failure. All of the incident could be reduced or prevented by doing inspection or detect the problem at the earliest stage. This is all not only for the operator safety, but also for the other employee and the people that are nearby the working area. Then I have talked about the some ways or tools that can help to detect hydraulic leakage faster, not only for the external, but also for the internal leakage. We have seen that changing hydraulic oil with a distinctive color will help to identify and locate the leakage. An infrared thermometer can help to detect any abnormal temperature on your critical component in the equipment. Advanced technology tools such as ultrasonic and black light sensitive dyes also have proven to be an effective method to determine the leakage. I hope all the audience have more understanding and get benefits from this session. Now you all should have the ideas on how important is the inspection for our work equipment, especially on the hydraulic component. Alright, this is the end for my presentation. Thank you for your time. Now I would like to pass the floor back to Mr. Muhammad Riaz for our Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Hi, thank you very much, Mr. Alif. It was an excellent presentation from your side. Very important aspects of inspection, as I was narrating in the beginning of the introduction. We have a couple of questions that has been requested by the delegates, and I have a few questions from myself as well. And for this question and answer session, I would request Mr. Alif to unmute his cam and come on live with me, join me for answering. Hey Alif, how are you doing?
Hi. Great. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Riaz.
Thank you. Excellent presentation, man. Really appreciate a lot of insight on the detailings that you gave on the inspection and the way the failures may occur. Really good. Thank you for joining for the Q&A.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Muhammad Riaz, I would like to invite Mr. Tan for this Q&A session, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Excellent, please. It's always good to have him on board.
Yes.
Wow, Alif, your hair is so long, huh?
Yeah.
MCO cannot go out and cut hair.
Yeah. Dan, you had your cup of coffee or no? Still?
Not yet. Lunch also not yet.
Yeah, thank you. So we quickly go around a few questions and then we will see how well these questions can be taken care. Mr. Alif, so far from the operator's perspective,
Yes.
what's one most important step to do as a pre-inspection, during his pre-inspection session, to ensure the machine's hydraulic system is healthy and he can start his operations for the day? How an operator can determine during his start of the shift?
Okay. Also, it is very important for operator to know where to look. Okay. Then also the operator should know what is the damage condition that will fail the equipment. Okay, for pre-operation inspection, operator need to do visual and also the functional inspection. Okay, now I will focus on the hydraulic system. For the visual inspection, okay, the operator should look for any leaks or drops of oil on the floor. Okay, operator should look at the hose, at the hydraulic hose, at the fittings, because that's the common place for if any leaks will happen, okay, at the connection there. Then operator also need to concern if there's any twisted, kinked, or any flattened hoses, okay, because this kind of twisted or kinked because of maybe because the hose have been bent, bent beyond its recommended radius. Then also need to concern if the hose are cracking, any sign of cracking, stiff, because this could be because of the hot liquid oil passing through the hose, or maybe because it's subject under the very hot sun for a long period of time. Other than that, operator should look at the cylinder, look at the sign of oil stain on the cylinder, because this could be sign of any leakage. Then for the functional inspection, okay, operator should move forward and backward, test the brake, okay, he should extend their booms, okay, should swing, okay, if he use boom lift, okay. This one to check the hydraulic functions, okay. Make sure there's no abnormal noise, okay. Make sure all the boom can extend to the maximum point, okay. For example, a forklift, operator should raise the mass to the maximum, okay. He should hear any abnormal noise, okay. If he hear two noise, for example, tam, that's mean the hydraulic hoist, the hydraulic system is already bad, already broken. Okay, the best condition is only one sound, tam. Okay, so that's the great condition for the for this hydraulic cylinder. Yeah, I think that's the important notes for the operator to take in their pre-inspection session. Yeah, yes. Over to you, Serias.
Yes. To add up to this, there's a gentleman who has, I don't know whether it's a person, a female or a male, but however, it says that we do have an approved inspection checklist from the for the cranes and skylifts from the agencies from the government. But other than that, do you develop your own checklist, or do you have mastered a new checklist in addition to the government inspection checklist?
May I handle that one, Alif?
Yes, can.
The government inspection is normally termed as a statutory inspection, I would say, or mandatory, and normally that is 12 to 15 months in Malaysia, okay, and an annual basis, or so to speak. Of course, we also ask the operators also to do this kind of initial inspection as well. The reason here is that I always ask the operators, do you do inspection for whose sake? Is it for the boss, or is it for the government, or is it done for yourself? They think through, then they say, for myself, for themselves, So then they realize that they are doing it for themselves and not for anybody else. If anything goes failure, then they are operating at that time. If nothing happens to them, then the boss blames them. But if something happens to themselves, then the boss will blame him because he's already dead and 7 feet 6 inches underground. Okay, so people then realize, well, they are doing it for their own sake. So we have to change their mindset that they are doing it for themselves and not anybody else. So that is one thing. Now, coming back to the government inspection. Government inspection is a system where they want you to do, but they will come and see whether you are doing or not. So it's what you call, you have to do on your own, but they will come and do it. But the point behind is that if you think it is necessary to do it even at a faster rotation. That means instead of 12 months, you want to do it on your own 6 months. Like in most oil and gas companies, they actually go even more stringent than the normal government say. You know, so this is a must lah. If you go by the CPC, go by the British standard of 7121 Part 2 under inspection, thorough examination, and maintenance, then it recommends that if it is a man lifting, that means then you should have it at minimum of 6 months. And even that is a government rule. It's under LOLA, under CPC, under this our British standard, or even under PUWER, PUWER, not power. Okay, so they have this standard. So if you think you have to even reduce it to 3 months or 6 months, it is for your own welfare. So whoever is asking this question, it is for your welfare of your people who are operating it. Or if you're a competent person, you can actually make the decision. But take note, you always refer to the manufacturer's manual, whichever, and your decision, whichever is low. Yours, competent person, internal people, you cannot say, okay, I'll do it in 9 months, even the manufacturer's book says 6 months. So you can lower, but you cannot have a longer extension. So this is only because simple for own welfare. I hope I've answered the question.
You have answered it. You have answered it, but just to add up to your answer, in our industry, we have made it once in 3 months, inspection to be done once in 3 months.
Correct.
That's one part. Secondly, the question previously was asked in simple answer. There is a government checklist. Do you have an additional checklist in addition to what the government agency has, or you just follow the same? Only thing you suggest for the periodic inspection to be more stringent, make it 6 months. So
okay. In our crane and plant inspection training, we actually help people to come out with a proper checklist. From the checklist already, then they go in and we will check their checklist is complete or not. Because the normal checklist, which is done by the manufacturer or the government, government one, all these things may not be complete because of your the work of the machine, which is working at special locations, very dusty, not under the roofing, and so you have to have additional improvements on that so that you have more complete inspection. So it's not a standard one. Even just now only somebody just called me. They want inspection checklist for us to build into theirs. They could have taken it from the manual, but unfortunately, the manual itself may not be complete. And we have actually come up with many things, and actually help people to improve their SOP.
Excellent. Very quick one, Alif here. What are the concerns when doing hydraulic fluid inspection? A very specific question. Please give a specific answer. Let's not expand the answer. Just be specific to the question. What are the concerns when doing hydraulic fluid inspection? You have any particular concern that you would like to share it? Quick one.
Yeah, okay. One important concern is for the operator, they need to wear their safety glove, the specific safety glove. There's a specific safety glove for handling the hydraulic oil, okay? Because this hydraulic oil can give a bad disease to your skin, okay? Yeah, that's why one concern that I mentioned here is operator need to wear their safety glove.
May I add to that? So in the process, when it spurts out, it's under high pressure. Okay, so it is going to hurt your fingers. And the other thing is that ensure also lockout, tag out, because we don't want somebody to, while you are checking the hydraulics from the under the chassis, and people comes in and see nobody is using the forklift, and it happens. We have factories where they are using 10 tons, they are using the 3 tons, and they don't have a forklift, but they need to use a forklift, and they see very good. I'm in luck today. I found a forklift not being used, so he go and start the engine and move, and you are under that. That is treacherous, very bad. Okay, so these are some concern.
You just reminded me of one instance that I would like to share here at this point of time. Again, an unfortunate incident. It was in the middle of the desert. You can visualize, all the delegates, you can visualize with me. It was in the middle of the desert. The equipment involved was a front loader, the big one, front loader. If is the right terminology used in Malaysia, I don't know. Okay. The front loader, it was about, of course, like now, Kuwait is doing about 50 plus. Yes, this is the front loader. It was doing temperature about 50, like in the peak summers now, it is already there. So the front loader and his assistant. So in the desert, whenever we leave an operator or a team to work, the contractor always leaves a buddy guy. So there will always be two people, not only a forklift or a front loader or a crane operator. He's not sent alone in the middle of the desert to do the job. He always sent with a buddy. So it so happened that the front loader bucket, it moved up and it was not coming down for some reason. Yes, exactly. So he was trying all kinds of tricks. The operator, in the meantime, yes, in the meantime, the assistant, he said, okay, let me go fetch some water for you, because the water container was empty by then. So he walked down, because there's no transportation in the middle of the desert. So he had to walk good amount of time to reach to his, a small camp area to fetch water. So he walked away, and when he came back, there was a disaster. So what was the disaster? Unfortunately, the operator was underneath the bucket forks, okay, and he was trying to do something, yeah, and this fork slowly came and compressed him. It didn't, we don't know whether it came at one time, because if it was probably one time, we would have had a major crush in his body parts. But we see a jam, we see yes. So probably it started to come down. He did not notice it. Again, the hydraulic failure. That's what the topic you guys were discussing was very important for me, which reminded me this, and then you just reminded me of, a load being carried and it is kept there. Somebody comes and switch on. So we don't know, in the middle of the desert, what happened to this guy. He was underneath the bucket, underneath the forks of the bucket, and the bucket started to collapse or come down to its normal position. So when it was coming down, it started to crush him between the fork and the body of the forklift, front loader, and eventually he was dead on the spot by crush. So very unfortunate incident of this operator, unfortunately. So again, as I said, these incidents happen very rare, but it happens. When it happens, the results are very devastating. So with this, thank you very much for an excellent presentation and the Q&A. I hope the delegates are enjoying as much as I'm so happy and excited in assisting and presenting this seminar by now. So let's move on to our next technical presentation for the day. Thank you, Alif. Appreciate. So let's move on to our next very important and very exciting program for the day. This is about lifting plan. So this presentation is will be given to you by Ms. Emily Chang, and of course, we have with us Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan. So both of them will be collectively presenting us this excellent presentation on lifting using your finger, a 500-ton crane lifting with your fingers, use of 3D software. Interestingly, I don't know in the today's scenario, but till I was involved in, we used to do manual calculations and manual way of putting our lifting plans. So if a software is developed, we know there was a software, but we had not purchased that software. So it's interesting presentation, interesting for many of the delegates out there. So it's a good insight. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Emily Chan and Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan to present the topic for the last topic for the day. 500 tons crane lifting with your fingers. Sounds very excited. Please welcome.
Muhammad Riaz. Dear participants, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan, and my co-speaker for today is my colleague, Miss Emily Chan, the first qualified lady crane lifting planner in Malaysia. We're speaking on the topic of 500 tons crane lifting with your fingers. Use of the 3-dimension lifting software. If you have any questions hereafter, please to write in the chat box, and we'll try to answer as many of them as possible within the time allocated. We know about the forest of trees. Now we only see the forest of cranes. Urban development has caused these forests of cranes. During shutdown at upstream manufacturing or construction of factories, we also see many huge cranes in operation. Progress in society has caused many cranes to work together to build big structures which come with many disasters, accidents, and fatalities. We will today cover how our proposal for using crane lifting software can help in preventing these uncalled for accidents, loss of life, assets, and many project delays. At the end of our presentation, we will address the fear that crane lifting planning is a huge and risky task. Overcome the feeling that crane lifting planning is a hot, muddy, dirty, and dusty profession to encourage more to join the profession. In the process, to build an ecosystem to bridge the 25,000 vacancies in Malaysia and many thousand foes abroad. At the end of our presentation, we will address the fear that crane lifting planner is a huge and risky task. We will overcome the feeling that crane lifting planner is a hot, muddy, dirty, dusty profession to encourage more to join the profession. In the process, we have to build an ecosystem to bridge the 25,000 vacancies in Malaysia and many thousand foes abroad. We also hope to open minds that crane lifting planning is critical for various industries, the upstream manufacturing, on and offshore oil and gas, renewable energy, specialized heavy transporting, and besides the usual urban construction. We will spark the interest for the various stakeholders, crane vendors, owners, rental companies, all the final users to find it very beneficial, to involve all their lifting team members to take a serious view of crane lifting planning. And we hope to, in the end, respond to the requirements to comply with the Malaysian Department of Occupational Safety and Health and any other authorities overseas. In Malaysia, the Special Order number 2 of 26th October 2021, Management and Safe Operation of Mobile Crane, in order to eliminate all the current high accidents, improve the supply chain delivery, and reduce the project or turnaround delays, and eventually increase the profitability of manufacturing and the construction industry. The greater use of digitization in the crane usage planning process will eliminate all the critical elements and save in production and delivery. The insights gained through the adoption of comprehensive crane lifting planning, lifting software, 3-dimension schematics, and resultant step-by-step method statement can help to improve efficiency, timeliness, risk management, eventually the bottom line. New building materials and innovative construction approaches, such as pre-assembled modules, can lower costs and speed up construction and shut down turnaround time, while improving quality and safety. However, this will require more sophisticated, specialized transportation, lay-down mode requiring upturning upon arrival at destination, and crane lifting efforts due to its sheer size, off-balance, and non-uniformed asymmetrical load. Oh, modular. Already. Lift it up by this. Okay. And it's ready. How nice. Fast. Clean. Noise. No noise. Project owners often believe that their responsibility ends when they award the contracts. They forgot that they pay the economic cost of delay. On the other hand, contractors often do only the minimum required to meet contractual terms. Given the construction industry's current poor track record on innovation and adoption of new technologies, tools, and approaches, we feel that both project owners and contractors need to adopt a new mindset for their own welfare. Singapore Building and Construction Authority confirmed that prefabricated, pre-finished, volumetric construction (PVC) gives a positive impact on what? Productivity improvement of up to 50%, minimal dust and noise pollution, and improved site safety. An ecosystem should be built to benefit the whole society. In view of the large number of more than 30,000 cranes in operation in Malaysia and a large number of recorded accidents, I repeat, recorded accidents, I don't know how many is not recorded. It is pertinent for us to discuss the subject today as to how digitization, especially using crane lifting software, can help in eliminating accidents. However, if we want to use crane lifting plan, we need it for the critical lifting. Critical lifting requires lifting plan. Lifting plan requires lifting software. I will highlight below some of the terms which classify certain lifts as a critical lift. An example, a lift by a mobile crane or boom truck that exceeds 80% of its rated capacity whilst it is lifting the load. At a load radius of more than 50% of its permitted load radius. Taking into account its position and its configuration during the lift. A tandem lift, if the load on any crane, hoist, or other piece of powered lifting equipment exceeds 75% of the rated capacity of that crane, hoist, or other piece of powered lifting equipment. These are all best practices, all right? A tandem lift involving the simultaneous more than 2 cranes, hoists, or other pieces of power lifting equipment. A lift of a person in the work platform, in a man riding cage and lifted by way of the crane, all right? And is suspended from such a crane. A lift in which the center of gravity of the load changes during the lift. A lift in which the length of one or more of the sling leg changes during the lift. A lift by a crane, boom truck, or hoist supported on a floating base that exceeds 90% of the rated capacity of the lifting system. A lift of a load over and above or between energized the high voltage electric pylons, or lift of a submerged in water load. These are some of the examples of a critical lift. in which a lifting plan is necessary when it can be best counted only by a lifting software. The International Standards Organization number 12480 Part 1 of 1997 clarifies the safe use of cranes. But how many people do follow? Many industry players and organizations, committee members locally and abroad do not take the lead or even go against the best practices, whether in poor crane deployment, maintenance, or training requirements. We see their cranes involved in accidents. Very sad. On further investigations, we notice that all these can be avoided. There must be a wake-up call for all stakeholders, inclusive of the general public, to look into this very, very urgently. Standards and regulations, some of them are the ISO Standard 12480 Part 1 I just mentioned, BS 7121 Part 1 of year 2006, and that is a British standard for code of practice for safe use of cranes, Part 1. And British BS 7121 Part 3, year 2000, which is the British Standard Code of Practice for safe use of cranes for mobile cranes. And we also have the International Labour Office, Safety and Health in Ports, okay, is the Code of Practice, and in 2005. And we also have the Accident Prevention Regulation for Cranes, BGV D6, issued by the German Institutions for Statutory Accident Insurance and Prevention, and many, many more overseas and locally. The current operational safety practices at most construction sites and upstream manufacturing companies using mobile or crawler cranes is very, very lacking. We know, for example, there were no crane lifting supervisor for each lifting on site. And in a site, could be 2-3 liftings concurrently run. We also see no crane lifting plan being enforced or use of using the recycled crane lifting plan. Crane lifting plan drafted by ill-informed crane lifting supervisor instead of the planner. Crane lifting plan not using 3-dimensional schematics. No step-by-step method statement. One crane lifting supervisor on record, but operating concurrent lifting via remote. And no first or second or third party crane plan inspection. Or untrained crane lifting supervisor, crane lifting planner, or crane plan inspector. Accidents have occurred, and the majority are fallen cranes, loads, and fatality cases. What are causes of accidents resulting from weakness in crane lifting management? And we should look out for the root cause. So you see, we have crane assembly, dismantling, and counterweight failure. What's the root cause? No lifting plan. Let's see. 40 controls or limit switch or turntable unlocking. What is it? No inspection, no crane lifting supervisor. Next, blind lift, night lifting, poor communication, no lifting supervisor or lifting plan or lifting planner, and no outrigger use, inferior or insufficient padding, no inspection, lifting supervisor or lifting planner, and the list goes on. Some of the notable lifting software that we want to talk about is the Compute Crane of Mhlta, Rigging Pro Sky Azul Solutions Lifting Planner from AutoCAD, the Lifting Plan from A1A Software, Crane Manager by Credimax, and of course the Crane Expert. We love Crane Expert. Compute Crane Mhlta is a basic, easy to use tool, suitable for simple lifting, bidding, or presentation purpose. You need it for bidding or even presentation. For more complex lift, you need, in our opinion, a more sophisticated software. Rigging Pro from Sky Azul Solutions, it complements Compute Crane software. It automatically develops a sling model and applies the sling hardware properties, structurally analyzes each element, the quick confirmation through a color-coded 3-dimension image. It defines load dimension, the hitch type, and add hardware collector rings and shackles and fittings to the rigging plan, and a very useful interface with a database of the Crosby's hardware and any that you want to add into your software. Provides detailed working drawings of the load and the rigging with specs and bill of materials. Specify the load parameters and the hitch type. It calculates the center of gravity and the sling tensions, and even display your rigging assembly in 3 dimensions. The load can be viewed from all sides, calculates the load or loads, and evaluate the capacities, and even alert you of any potential hazardous situations. In the case of lift planner from AutoCAD, it's a 3-dimension lift study can be produced at the end, but you need to actually know AutoCAD. Otherwise, it will be quite useless to you. It allows configuration of the crane. You move the crane, you can swing the boom, and you set the hook elevation, and you can boom up or boom down. Of course, you can also do telescopic or change jib angle. That's where you see what happened. You cannot do this in the real world of work because it's not allowed when the load is hanging on the hook. Okay? But many people perform it in the world of work. And that's where you can see a lot of crane failures. Lift movie comes along for presentation and also for pre-lift meeting. Very useful. The other one we know of is a 3D lift plan from A1A software. This program is graphically very nice. It is sophisticated for simple jobs. It's not restricted to any crane type. And linked back crane chart is already available. But many other cranes you need to purchase it for maybe a year limited period. But the host actually has got more than 700 cranes available on its server, if I'm not mistaken. And the program features advanced crane selection, ground bearing pressure calculation, crane match calculator, critical lift worksheet, sling tension and dimension calculator, advanced rigging design. Capability includes planning of multiple crane lifts, export to CAD at the end, and use multiple parts of line, and display images from your job site. You can plug in. And that is Crane Expert. We love this, and we are using this software in our office and our setup, and we use a paid version, all right, to teach our participants. And of course, the participants, we give them the free software for them to actually try it before they decide that they would like it to buy it. Okay. So may I now invite my colleague, Miss Emily Chan, to present the crane lifting software, Crane Expert. Over to you.
Hello, my name is Emily. I am an associate consultant, the crane lifting planner, and the researcher from the ISO group in Source Options in Rembahat, Malaysia. Today, I would like to share there are many types of lifting software in the world. Due to time constraint, I will show you the power of one of the software. There are many types of lifting software in this world. Due to time constraint, I'd like to show you the power of this software. As you can see in this first video, the crane is set in between 2 buildings. In crane lifting, note the venturi effect in between 2 buildings. The wind speed is a factor that needs to be considered and to be calculated and stated in the crane lifting plans. The crane is to lift the generator set from the rooftop of the building and set down onto the lorry. In crane lifting, when you select a suitable lifting equipment and lifting accessories according to the lifting load, it is an added technical knowledge with the selected accessories. Normally, we will think it is impossible to lift this generator set from the rooftop of the building and set it down to the lorry loader. With this knowledge, you can gain from a complete crane lifting planning course. You will become more confident in ensuring a proper crane lifting. By using this 3D crane lifting software, it is not only helping you to solve lifting operation work, also helping to foresee the critical areas. Number 1, possibility of boom hitting of building, rooftop, or platform. Number 2, ensure boom safety clearance. Identify required distance. For example, 4-meter safety clearance. Number 3, ensure sufficient clearance of counterweight. For example, minimum 600 mm from wall. In this crane lifting, you can see that there are 4 standard views. Quadrant 1, top left, is front view. Quadrant 2, top right, is side view. Quadrant 3, bottom left, is top or plan view. Quadrant 4 is bottom right, 3D view. The user of this software is required to key in the details of the crane specifications. In this case, of a paid software, you just need to key in crane name, model, and all the specifications will be automatically drawn or configured from the library within the software. You can draw the real scenario in this 3D lifting software. See this video. Step 1, select the crane with the specific axle from the specified crane model manual. Step 2, set the boom length required. Step 3, set the counterweight. Step 4, set the outrigger base width required. Step 5, set the loads, length, width in the right-hand panel. You can pre-select the load shape, whether it's a cube shape, cylinder shape, or rectangular prism shapes. Step 6, simulate the crane lifting. 3D comes alive in lifting. This is fun and exciting part. If we refer to this video, we can see every movement of lifting in detail and from multiple and different dimensions, whether the load or the boom or the counterweight is hitting any object nearby. So we can plan and revise our method statement in writing. Thereafter, during our training, we will guide you on how to write a detailed method statement into a crane lifting plan to keep a written record of the lifting plan and method statement. As a crane lifting planner, it is important to inform and explain the entire lifting plan to lifting team members and to establish a mutual understanding among the crane lifting team members. I will now show you a video clip of a training on how to use the Crane Expert software. From this video, you will see how easy to use software to develop a detailed method statement to eliminate all crane operations accidents.
Of your outrigger. Now, next is your boom offset. Okay, from your boom pivot point. Okay, so you can see the object. Okay, Tiang, hold on. Let me take over control. I will request remote control and you can see from here. Okay, now I'm controlling your laptop. So right now, if you look at this screen, by this ruler and this ruler over here, as you can see, all these screens, all these 3 screens has rulers. So I can move it around here. We want to be able to put a name to it, or we need to label the item. Now I have 2 objects, so I have to move it slightly to this side. Okay, so I need to place my load right in the middle of these 2 objects here. So I will need to increase my boom angle. But if you can see here, the height of the building gives me a problem. So I need to make sure that my boom does not hit the building and I am still able to put the load down without hitting. So I can turn my 3D building. So I can have a very good view of how the load is going to be when I move it or I lift it. Will it hit the roof? Will it hit? Or what are the procedures that I need to do? That's a very good idea that I can imagine how the thing is going to be. Okay? All right, guys?
Thank you for listening to our sharing this 3D lifting software. I would like to pass this time to Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan.
Okay, thank you, Miss Emily Chan. Now, the latest development in Malaysia as regards crane lifting. The Department of Occupational Safety and Health 5th of June 2017, 13th March 2020, 26th October 2020, issued 3 special orders that all lifting team members must be knowledgeable, experienced, and competent, and further confirmed there must be no bypass of the machines, and permit to work or crane lifting plan must be made available. And let's see what happens here. Very unfortunate. Hundreds of thousands lost. Could have been prevented. Unfortunately, people think it couldn't happen to me. This is the directive from the Department of Occupational Safety and Health. Okay, and this QR code you can actually scan in and refer from there. So what happens when training providers heard about this circular? Many of them jump on the bandwagon. We were doing this training for years already. Now they see this circular and they jump on the bandwagon and they look at it for the opportunity. They reclassify rigging costs now as advanced rigging, also known as crane lifting supervisor competency certificate, without adding the relevant modules for the additional responsibilities like supervision, pre-lift meeting, inspection, and any other responsibilities I will clarify later for how to be a competent crane lifting supervisor and how to test them in terms of how they conduct the meeting. Most of the time, Malaysia is shout 3 times, safety first, safety first, safety first. Bersurai, it means you disband the meeting. Everybody can go and start the lift. Unfortunate. After all, sorry to say, most end buyers, employers do not understand the job scope and the responsibility of a competent, of a crane lifting supervisor. Okay, as far as they're concerned, I got a paper here to show that it's a lifting plan. That's good enough. You want me to sign, approve it, I'll sign, approve it for you. In the case of crane hire. The crane lifting supervisor, as the titles say so, is to, amongst many other things, explain, supervise, and ensure continued compliance to the crane lifting plan. And if they have an issue which they cannot comply, they have no authority to do anything except to get the approval of the AP, appointed person, or the crane lifting planner. In some countries, they call it crane lifting engineer. The crane lifting planner, on the other hand, is amongst many, many other jobs. I will determine some here. 1, determine whether it's in the first place is a routine or a critical lift. Recce the environment, pylon electric, ground bearing pressure, what so forth. Okay, buildings, structures, what so forth, and whether the crane will come near us. Create the lifting plan. Determine whether more than one crane is necessary in the case of tandem lifting. Refer to manuals for specifications, limitations, and crane charts and what so forth. Okay, and not only the equipment but also the accessories. Determine appropriate types of setup of the crane. Understand the integrity of the load. Provide a 3-dimension lift schematics. Write a sequential method statement from the rigging till deposit de-rigging of load. Determine the extra requirements when man lifting is performed. What contingencies are there, the time and weather and the environment and the duration of the lift operation. These are some, not all. There are a lot more. If you look at our crane lifting plan, it's from A to Q. All right. So that's a lot. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it's an accident. Okay. This is an factory outfit. And mobile crane was used to lift out. And what happens over here? Suddenly, the whole thing collapses along with the mobile crane. Anybody is in the environment, I will pity them because they will lose their leg or hands or their life. This is not what we want. We want everybody who comes to work, safe to work, and safe back home. Many general public, the crane accidents only happen in construction site. Actually, many oil and gas and upstream heavy industry fabrication and manufacturing companies are also using cranes for lifting out old gensets, machines, equipments, and replacing new equipments after years of service. They simply depend on third-party vendors, normally crane operators or crane vendors, to draft them a one-page, most of the time, recycle lifting plan. For their appointed and untrained safety officer or plant manager come crane lifting manager to sign a blind approval. And we've seen this happening, very big multinational. They depend on the safety officer to maintain a checklist to confirm a lift. Safety officer is only a general safety practitioner, not a crane lifting supervisor or a crane lifting planner. How is he ever going to sign? Such factories are just waiting for an accident to happen. Thereupon, production will be curtailed and may result in explosions of fatalities. And a lot of answers to give in their reporting. All our clients include oil and gas, petrochemicals, cement manufacturing. The one we had is 4 factories and 40 batching plants. Steel mills, 65 of the Fortune 500 companies are our clients. Our training covers even the participants who are workers with the MRT Line 2 project, underground and tunneling only, not the elevator. And that carries 600 ton, but modular. We have come to the end of our presentation, and we hope that, number one, we have addressed the fear that crane lifting planner is not, after all, a huge and risky task. And we have overcome the feeling that crane lifting planning is a hot, muddy, dirty, dusty profession. To encourage more to join in this profession, in the process to build an ecosystem to bridge the 25,000 vacancies in Malaysia and many thousand foes abroad. Open the minds that crane lifting planning is critical for varied industries, spark interest from the various stakeholders, crane vendors, owners, and rental companies, all the final users to find it very beneficial to involve their lifting team members to take a serious view at lift planning, respond to the requirements to comply with the Malaysian Department of Occupational Safety and Health Special Order Number 2 of 26 October 2021, management and safe operation of mobile crane, in order to eliminate all the current high accidents, improve the supply chain delivery, and reduce the project or turnaround delays, and eventually increase the profitability of the manufacturing and the construction industry. Thank you. Now we go to the question and answer session. And thank you very much, J. Muhammad Riaz. Over to you.
Excellent, excellent presentation, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan, and I couldn't move my eye away from the whole of the presentation. And it was an excellent presentation, and the software is so amazing. We were able to, the way we were able to see the 3 dimensions of it, having the complete, before, we used to just visualize and do the job. Now we can literally see it, and and then go ahead and perform it in an excellent way. I really appreciate. Thanks to of course Miss Emily for this excellent introduction of the software, and of course the incidents that we saw, unfortunate incidents, the videos, and the importance of having a proper lifting plan, and to employ qualified lifting planners is very important. So thank you for this excellent presentation. My request both the speakers to unmute their cam and join me for a quick Q&A. We are doing very good with the timeline so far, We have covered almost every presentation as per our planned timeline. So thanks. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for having you back live again. Hi, Emily.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon to you. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you. All right. So we will quickly take up some few important questions that we have here. Yeah, yeah, of course. So there's a question here, which I think it's very straightforward. Again, I request the speakers to give a straightforward answer to a straightforward question. Can the software help in writing out a detailed method statement? I think Emily already stated this in her presentation, but anyway, if you can just quickly answer this question. Can the software help in writing out a detailed method statement? And what I understand from the question is, like, with the push of the button, with all the parameters that you have put, with the push of the button, there should be a report coming out in a form of a method statement. So is this possible, or you come out of the software and you again build your method statement? Is it something like this? So can you clarify quickly?
Maybe let me address that. The software, once you have drawn up everything already, you can turn the boom here and there. You can do all that. You can go this way, whatever you do already. Then you find what is the best way to lift your load and put it down, or whichever. All right. So because you you can go through the real simulator process of the lifting and the depositing, so you actually from there then only write out your method statement. As of now, what we are trying to do, we are trying to synchronize the thing into a verbal format. But it's a lot of tasks because various lifting has got its different paradigm. So it's not that easy, you know. But it'll be years before it can come out. But as of now, you have to look through the process, how it's being lifted, what the things have to be done, then write down. Then it becomes a very complete method statement. So it's not just you push a button, then it comes out. It doesn't happen that way.
So,
not to that stage yet.
Yeah, no, in simple words, the software does not generate a method statement.
No.
So you have to generate the method statement based on the results coming out from the software.
Right. Like what people happen to do before was, it's a paper format, plan view only, that's it, and then they start to think, they try to think the process, which is incomplete. This one is complete because you can see 3 dimension, how you can knock into buildings or whatever, you know, or the go too near the 15 meters away from the electric pylon, or 9 meter, 10 meter, that kind of thing, you know, so you can actually count it out.
Excellent.
Very detailed.
Very good, very good. Again, a very straightforward question. Does the software cater the weather conditions? Of course, I think it should be considered. The weather conditions, like the prevailing wind speed, the visibility issues. Does the software integrate this?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It only depends on the crane lifting planner, his foresight to think what is the area light, what is the time, what is the brightness at that moment of time, tower light that you're going to use, and where should be placed, so that you ensure that it doesn't blind the rigger or the crane operator. And on the other hand, it gives you the right brightness in certain whatever important part, because you can't have too many tower crane. The management don't normally give you so many tower cranes. Okay, and from there then only you can have a proper lifting plan.
To add to your to answer to whoever person has asked here, lifting plans are being made way ahead of the actual work, correct? So let's say, for example, you want to lift on a Monday afternoon, but the plan is done probably a week before. So we don't know what is the weather conditions a week before. So it has to be, on time basis. So once the plan is ready, when you come to the site, when you actually are going to implement the lifting activity, so here you have to keep in mind what is the weather condition, what is your visibility issues, how well you have given the the voice control and communication devices. So I think these are all physical requirements that have to be taken up on the day of the lifting. Am I right?
These are preconditions. You put it very, very rightly. I think you're a better speaker than me. These are preconditions set inside the crane lifting plan. So if everything is very detailed and the crane lifting supervisor just follows, it's just like our buku suci, our holy book. You follow as per the holy book, then you cannot become a sinner.
Okay.
Right. So in this case, this is a crane lifting. It is the holy book for the crane lifting.
Okay.
So no accident.
To add up, I think there is a pre-lifting checklist that need to be utilized, which will help you in detailing all these factors. Have you checked it? What is the prevailing? What is the allowable speed limits for the? So yeah, these are things are just pre-lifting. Whereas the lifting plan is way before you can even do it. Probably a one month before you can do your lifting plan, and then just on the day of the lifting, you have to do your pre-lift checklist. Excellent.
Put it very rightly. Put it very rightly.
Thank you very much. So we move on to our next question. What are the difference between crane hire, contract? I'm just trying to understand the question to put the question. Contract life, who will be the responsible, who to prepare lifting plan? I have heard many of the crane companies now are providing full packages for lifting work. Well, it's more of an administrative question, so I will leave that question there. I will not take up that question. It's more of an administrative question. I will move on to another question which says that I think you covered this point. You said that there's a lot of vacuum in this profession, and he's asking the same question. I'm an engineer by engineering graduate, and I do not have enough experience. Can I take up the CLP course and go into this profession? So quick answer to that, I think it is yes.
We will put it this way that if the person is an engineering graduate, without any experience at all, we're not talking about Muhammad, okay, not you. I'm talking about everybody in general, okay. And so you come in, we suggest that you go through the real process of the rigging course. So as of now, we have this short rigging course, 4 days one, and then that's for experienced people. But if you're no experience, maybe slightly longer. But as a graduate, so it's easy to understand the mathematics of things. Of course, we have a lot of people from Bangladesh and Nepal who are Myanmaris. They are working as a rigger without any training at all. But if they actually go through a proper training, then it's a real rigger. Okay, then they understand all aspects. So it becomes easier if they don't have experience. They have to go through a complete one of at least 4 days to 8 days or whatever. Then after they finish, then go to a crane lifting supervisor. Then only go of another 5 days or 8 days, that kind of thing, and then only go to the crane lifting planner. Then he will become very fast, very good. We have trained people from engineers, civil engineers and mechanical engineers from China. Because they are all in the MRT Line 2 project, and they pass, and they get even 100 marks for their theory test, and they have, but they ask every little word you say, there's a question. Okay, they are very, very specific, and they passed their test. They did their method statement beautifully, and also they know how to actually they copied everything like we say. They do everything they say, and beautiful. So we have trained a lot of crane lifting planners for the MRT Line 2 project and many other companies as well, and they love what they have learned. They never thought crane lifting planner is that easy, but for many people actually it's a very tough task, especially if they don't have any experience whatsoever, and let's say an IT graduate is different. If you're civil engineering, it's much easier. If mechanical engineering, Muhammad Riaz, flying colors.
Thank you. One next question. We'll move to our next question. Thank you for that excellent reply to that question. Is the software learnable online? Do you do training online for people who would like to take up this course rather than with the present social distancing issues.
Yeah.
Do you conduct trainings of this software online?
Yes, yes. This is train online. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw just now my other trainer, William. He was he actually handheld the trainee, right? Emily, is it correct? He handheld the
Yes.
trainee. He took control. I think he mentioned something like that. Huh? He
Yes.
took control of the computer, and actually it explains to the participant a few of those stuff. So we actually go through, if they are really concerned about that, they want to become a good crane lifting planner, come to us, we will be able to guide. No issue. We have done many batches of online crane lifting planner training also.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Another kind of an administrative question. I think it is valid for Malaysia. Other than Malaysia, I don't think such a system exists in the Middle East. It's about claiming the training course charges. So they say that all the training courses provided by ISO, is it claimable? With the new program there, which says SBL pass, where you don't have to pay upfront. The training provider can claim it on a later part, so that financially the company is not burdened. So with the present condition, so do your courses support such a program?
Yeah, in fact, all our courses are actually approved under the HRDF as we are HAS program, and even the online version also approved all under this program. I think Captain Jalil already mentioned that in the last slide of his presentation. I think he mentioned about per CASO, CIDB for CEP point, for CCD point, for HRDF grant. Everything is covered. So for online version also, yes, all approved under online. The HRDF approved everything for us already. No issue. And we have done so many batches of that, and people have. A lot of people don't claim because they are mostly from the manufacturing industries. But people like Petronas, whatever, a few other oil and gas companies, they claim they are from manufacturing. So the majority of them do contribute towards the HRDF grant. So when they go for training, they actually use those grants. For the construction industry, because they pay to the levy to the CIDB, not under the HRDF, therefore they don't have any money that they can use from that grant. Okay, so both ways, no problem.
Good. Excellent. That's very interesting Q&A. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Frank, for this. For the clarifications that were there. There are many more clarifications coming up, but then we have very less time. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for presenting. Thank you for, probably you stayed back for all through the presentations, Frank, for supporting the Q&A. Thank you very much for that. That shows your commitment towards answering the right answer to the questions that are being posted by the delegates. It's a very important commitment that you have shown, the dedication that you have shown. Thank you very much. So now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for you guys to be there with us, using your precious time, spending your time and listening, and that talks about your commitment towards the seriousness of understanding this topic for the day and the seminar. And your attendance is the support, and it is the guiding tool for us to go back, rather come back and conduct such seminars again and again. Thank you very much, and we will move on to the closing ceremony for today's seminar. So I request the speakers to mute. Thank you very much for being here. Now let's move on to the closing ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being with us. So give us a few more minutes. So we will thank the support we received from the sponsors. We have a platinum sponsor for the program. We have a gold sponsor for this seminar. Both of these institutions have shown enormous amount of support, and then they have led a lot of delegates on free delegate pass. It's a very encouraging. It's all about talks about the commitment of knowledge sharing. You know something, you have learned something, it's time to give it away. So it's all about giving it away. So it's very, very happy. I'm so delighted to be part of this. Let's move on, and then please, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Dr. Farah Robert. She is the CEO of KPC, YPC International College. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Dr. Farah. Hi, Doctor. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Mr. Muhammad Riaz. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you very well. So thank you for joining in. I would like to invite the gold sponsor for the day, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan. He is the founder and the principal consultant of ISO. Frank, yeah, hi. And lastly, but not the least, I would like to invite the chairman of Malaysian Material Handling and Logistic Technologies Association, Dr. Noel Robert. Hi, Doctor.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Noel Robert. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Datu, for joining us again. I really appreciate. I know you have a very tight schedule, and then you have graced the occasion, stayed with us, supported with us. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. So moving on, I have a very important aspect here that I would like to talk to Dr. Farah is like from YPC point of view. And then yourself and the management, what inspired you to support a seminar of this type? Talking about lifting, what inspired you to kind of come forward and support this conference? Of course, it's a big thanks from my side, but just to understand an institution, educational institution, coming forward and supporting such a seminar.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Muhammad Riaz. Good afternoon as well to Dr. Noel, Chairman of MHLTA, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan, Founder and Principal Consultant of ISO Group, and hello to all who are present here today. Back to your question, Mr. Riaz. Now, the collaboration with MHLTA and today's National Safety Technology Day supports YPC International College and Liverpool John Moores University's vision to develop work-ready graduates. Today's seminar is actually an example of how we can bridge the gap between industry and academia to involve students directly in industry-based seminars. We are always on the lookout to provide students with such opportunities for industrial visits and also training.
And excellent. I particularly keep talking about it in many of the conferences. I advocate such approaches, and then it all started with 6-7 years back in one conference in Bahrain when I saw a whole lot of university undergraduates were invited for a conference, international conference on process safety. So when I saw this, and then when we saw Aramco CEO, it's like he's a very big person in Saudi Arabia. So he sat down, like for example, you cannot get an appointment to even see his face, So he sat down in middle of, like it's like an open forum, all the students about 100-150 students were just gathered in an open hall. It's like in the middle of the exhibition floor, and then this CEO was sitting in middle of them, middle of this 100-150, and it was a very great atmosphere. And he was talking to them like, so I used to be a student, and when I stepped out, and then today I am the CEO of Aramco. So excellent. So from then onwards, when I attended that program, so from then onwards, I said, okay, fine, we have to do that. And exactly what you have done here, Dr. Farah, is a very encouraging. I am so delighted that you have done that. And let's move on, like, to our Lieutenant Colonel. How effective you think these virtual programs are helping, or rather, I can put it across this way. So we are so used to like old book guys. We are all so we are so used to in-person trainings. So replacing an in-person training to a virtual training, and it's all about competency levels. So competency level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you declare that he is a competent person, CP. This journey, if this guy is not hand-on, it's all about stimulation. It's all about virtual. Do you think is it okay? Have you come across any challenges? Mute. Unmute, please.
Let me put it this way. Old man talking. Okay. More than 2 decades ago, I see machine talking to machine. Okay. One of my clients brought in a lot of machines, very high end. Then I asked him, who is going to come and repair if anything goes wrong? No issue. What happened? He said, no. Germany will link here through internet. The machine will repair the machine. Back in my mind, I was thinking, wow, this is great. Then when we come to this COVID thing, we actually developed our IoT system Captain Jalil talked about here. Before pre-COVID, I would put it pre-COVID. So it didn't still cross my mind about the machine to machine. No? So when the COVID strike, then I realized now it's not called machine to machine, it's called man to man. Okay, we are talking from one person to the other person, and we can convey what we want from this person who is the participant. And therefore, we have come up with this and challenged this very well. And of course, there's a lot of investment, but a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of hair also dropped.
I can see that.
And Dato will agree with me. It is not easy. Okay, so we actually developed that. And your question is it effective? Put it this way: if you see the videos that Alex, I think, brought in, and as well as I think both or three speakers actually brought in, there were some quickie videos, very quick one, and somebody I think complained, some people talking in the background. It's not. It's actually our recording of our practical training where the trainer was talking to them, and there was a conversation between the trainer and trainee, and the trainee was actually replying, asking, what so forth. And so it's a very quick video. Yeah. So it's not a background disturbance, but it actually happened. So we were actually as if physically next to the person actually doing the job, and we can even see him tossing handling the legs, even for the cars. You can see the leg, how his eye, whether his eye actually was scanning the side mirror of the car. All this is already planned and tested. We do Shell's 644 tanker driver in Malaysia.
Excellent.
Okay, is tested assessed by us every year, and their trainers also being assessed by are trained by us and assessed by us. So they have this telematics, and we actually have the whole thing like this. We got this project, I think, about 2.5 years ago, and we are still doing it. So we have just moved from there. Okay.
Excellent. Dr. Farah, I mean, like, again, coming back, which always keeps surprising me for such a big investment as a sponsor for this program. Do you recommend other institutions to take examples from you and then, come forward to support such, industry-based technical, seminars and conferences?
Thank you, Mr. Riaz. Certainly, we do encourage institutions to support such events, as it's good exposure for the institution as well as their staff and students, specifically in providing updates and insight into what's current and what's relevant in the industry.
Good. I see that your Facebook is full with about 250 students watching remotely there live. Other than the platform here, what we are seeing 115 students, rather 115 delegates. We are also seeing in the FB page, which is going live, and it has got about 250 plus students exposed to this industrial standard. Though most of this, probably the terminologies may be Latin and Greek to them at this point of time, but still it's an exposure. Every minute spent on a knowledge platform is knowledge gained. So at least if the person gets to learn one word, I would appreciate that. Yes, we got to learn something today new. So it's a good effort, good exercise from your side. In your fraternity of institutions, you have to go back and tell us that you supported and then you encourage them to support such industry-based, because see what happens, what I see is the institutions are supporting conferences, but the more towards academia, the more towards research papers. It's very good, but again, it is limited within the parameters of education. But we are talking about the day the student finishes his last study day, he moves to the industry. And I used to be a student, and when I went out, and like all of us, when we went out to the industry, we had no clue what's happening around. We had no clue. It took us good 2 years to understand the basics of the industry functions. So it's good. Thank you for that excellent support. And with this, I thank you both of the sponsors. I really appreciate. My sincere thanks to you. My sincere thanks to the IT group, which is tirelessly, there supporting the platform, making it run, making it be there flawlessly, making sure all the connections are done. Thank you guys. Thank you for that, and thank you for the delegates who are there with us and then listening. Thank you for the students who are there. If any questions that you have, please do write an email to the association, and through the association, the speakers will be informed and they can answer you back. So it's easy, it can be done. So with this, I thank you, both of you, for this, and then we move to the chairman, Dr. Novel, for his closing words. Please, Dr. Novel Rabot, your closing remarks for the day's seminar. Unmute, please, Doctor.
Yes, thank you very much. Indeed, it was a great talk, webinar today. Fantastic. The response from the participants was awesome. Not only was the response awesome, also, the questions asked and the presentations itself, gave all of us a very good insight on the importance of calculated risk, managing risk. That is the key message. Risk must never be taken for granted. Safety is always must be in the forefront of all operation at all levels of operations of a company, be it the lowest worker right up to top management. And we look forward to organizing more such conferences more such webinars, with this webinar we can have international participants. To the international participants, thank you. Thank you, organizing chairman. Thank you, our sponsors, Dr. Farah Roberts from YPC International College, and our chief architect of ISO, a very enterprising and forward-looking man, resourceful, energetic, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Tan and his team, his excellent team. To the IT people, thank you. To the speakers, thank you. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nawal. I would request the IT my friend here, Mr. Win. Can you, Mr. Win, put us all in one frame so that we can capture, yeah, we can capture all the participants. I don't know if you can do that. Yeah, I think this is good. Thank you very much. All of you, all of us deserve a round of applause to every single person who were involved. It was a good long, almost I think the whole team was on their toes for last 2 weeks, and the whole program was planned for about, I think, almost a month or so. Really a lot of effort has gone in to deliver this seminar. Inshallah, we will come back and try to deliver many such detailed seminars. Thank you for all the delegates who joined in from overseas. I have people attending from Aramco, and I'm sure they have something to pick up. I have seen people attending from oil and gas industry from Kuwait, and we saw one person also coming in from Abu Dhabi. So India, we have a couple of people attending. So really a very international seminar with good reach. So thank you again, all of you. Really appreciate, and we all deserve a very big round of applause. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Be safe. And I wish you all, may God bless you all and keep you all safe. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good night.
Thank you, Dato. Thank you, Mr. Riaz, and thank you, Dr. Farah Robert.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to all the participants for your attendance. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Organization, from construction and energy departments to government agencies and FMCGs. Organizations whose choice is to send their teams through rigorous training by investing in their people, changing their mindset, skill set, and tool set, mitigating their risk, and increasing their productivity through education and continuous improvement. With our extraordinary outreach and technical services, we educate their engineers, lift planners, superintendents, safety advisors, field crews, and teams. We are the ISO Group.